Okay, mainit na topic ngayon, no? Avellino versus Cuenco. Kung lalabas ba sa bar yan, ano ba yung sa political law, ano ba yung mga posible mong tandaan dyan? Tingin ko, ito ay opinion ko lang naman, siguro yung tandaan mo dyan sa political law is what constitutes a quorum. No? Ang quorum is the number required in order for a body to validly conduct its business. Yan yung quorum sa constitution natin. Makikita mo dyan majority palagi. So, 50% plus 1. Second, how is the Senate President or the Speaker of the House elected? Under the 1987 Constitution, unlike in the 1935 kung saan nangyari yung Avellino versus Cuenco, ang term na ginamit sa 1987 Constitution is the Senate shall elect its president and the House of Representatives its speaker by majority votes of all the members of the House, di ba? All the members of the House. So 24 yung senators, yung majority diyan is yung 50%, 12 plus 1 yung majority is 13. Kailangan mo ng 13 senators. Kaya nga yung nangyayari ngayon is that walang election ng Senate President. Siguro kasi kailangan nila ng 13. 12 lang yung isang block, 12 lang sila. Kaya nakahang yung posisyon ng Senate President. What we have now is the Senate President pro tempore. Okay? Ang third na i-consider mo is whether or not the Supreme Court can intervene with regard to the act of a co-equal branch of the government. Kasi sa Avellino versus Cuenco, una, hindi nangialam yung Supreme Court dyan. Sabi pa nga ng Supreme Court, that is a political question. No, hindi kami pwedeng mangialam dyan. Co-equal branch yung Senado. The remedy lies on the halls of the Senate, not not with the Supreme Court. Pero later on, although may motion for reconsideration, nag-rule din ng Supreme Court that there was indeed a valid quorum. Okay. Wala nang question yan. Ngayon sa 1987 Constitution, every law student know na the Supreme Court can now intervene with regard to political question because of the expanded jurisdiction of the Supreme Court to determine whether or not there is a grave abuse of discretion amounting to lack or excess of jurisdiction in any branch or instrumentality of the government. So, wala nang paduda-duda, pwede nang mangialam yung Supreme Court as the final arbiter of any controversy. Pero of course, sa totoong buhay, ang Supreme Court will always exercise judicial restraint kasi nga in respect to a co-equal branch of the government. Okay? So, yan yung tandaan mo sa tatlo dyan. Now, ngayon, puntahan natin si Avellino versus Cuenco, and then I will throw some questions for you to analyze. Ang nangyari kasi diyan, yung grupo ni Avellino, medyo may faction diyan yung grupo ni Avellino at grupo ni Tañada during the night. Take note that it's a 1949 case. Masyadong matanda na. And then governed pa siya ng 1935 Constitution. Okay, so during the session, nag-walk out si Senate President Avellino kasama yung kanyang mga kasamahan. So yung nangyari diyan, wala nang Senate President. So nag-take over yung Senate President pro tempore na si Arans, Senator Arans during the time. Kasi Senate President pro tempore will preside in the absence of Senate President. Kaya nga pro tempore for the time being. So nandiyan ka lang kung wala yung Senate President. So nag-take over siya, nag-preside siya, and then nagpasa sila ng resolution which was unanimously approved. Nag-elect sila or dinesignate nila as Senate President si Jesus Cuenco, Senator Jesus Cuenco at the time. Question ngayon ni Avellino, kinuwaranto niya si Jesus Cuenco na hindi ka yung rightful na Senate President. Ako kasi invalid yung mo. Kasi syempre wala ngang quorum, kulang kayo. Actually, sabi diyan ng Supreme Court, valid naman talaga, may quorum naman talaga yun kasi sa umaga nga 14 na sila na senador na present. Yung sa hapon na session was just only a continuation. So mayroon ng valid quorum. Parang nag-obiter dictum pa rin yung Supreme Court na sinabi niya na since wala yung isang senator, si Confessor, nasa abroad, tapos si Vicente Soto was confined in the hospital. Take note, even though he was confined in the hospital, he was still counted among the senators present. 23 pa rin, -1 lang. Kasi yung isa, hindi na talaga makita. Take note, that was 1949 and he was abroad. Wala pang social media, wala pang ano nun. As in 1949, pag nasa abroad ka, parang siguro good as gone ka na nun. Hindi ka na talaga makompel with the coercive power of the Senate. So that's why 23 na lang. So majority na yung 12. So there was a valid quorum. Yan yung sabi ng Supreme Court. Unlike naman sa situation ngayon, pag ganito naman yung situation ngayon, paano mo siya i-apply? Baka, for example, bigyan ka ng problem. Kasi sa Cuenco, nasa abroad. So, and it was 1949. So, hindi mo talaga makikita yon. Ngayon, bibigyan ka ng problem, for example, sa bar exam. Wala naman siya nasa abroad, nasa Pilipinas siya. Pero hindi nga lang siya mahagilap. Will you consider him in the same situation as in Cuenco, who is outside the jurisdiction of the coercive power of the Senate na makompel siya to attend? Now, as early as now, you have to need to have a position. Yung advice ko sa'yo, hanapin mo yung pinakamagandang arguments na mababack upan ng law, constitution. Kasi yun yung ginagawa ko noon. Nagda-draft na ako ng sample answer sa mga current issues nung nagre-review ako sa bar. So, ganun yung gawin mo. You need to have a position. Huwag kang kumpiyansa kasi makagulatin ka, biglang lumabas yung current events. Okay? So, at sa mga ganyang sitwasyon na parang walang concrete na sagot, tandaan mo, yung pagbabasihan na lang ng examiner dyan is paano mo back upan at paano mo i-present yung arguments mo para makapag-points ka. Kasi yung topic na yan, kahit isubmit mo yan ngayon sa Supreme Court, hindi lahat ng justices magkakapareho ng pananaw dyan. No? Iba-iba yung mga opinion nila dyan. So, pag ganyan yung tanungan sa bar, ibig sabihin, wala talagang concrete answer dyan. Yung tinitest sa'yo ng examiner, kung paano mo atakihin ang tanong at kung paano mo i-present yung sagot mo. At the same time, paano mo siya depensahan. Second is, what if naka-detain siya, na house arrest siya, or nasa jail siya? Will you consider him as already outside the power, coercive power of the Senate in order to compel him to attend the session? Now, you need to also have a position with regard to that. Kasi yung sa Cuenco, yung naka-confine sa hospital, si Senator Soto, na-add pa rin siya sa number ng senador, mga senador. No? Ito, nakakulong, wala pa namang sentence, presumed innocent pa rin until proven otherwise. Aalisin mo na ba siya sa number ng mga senador? Or hindi na ba siya is considered as senador? Ito pa, another situation. Yung nangyari kasi sa Cuenco at saka sa Avellino versus Cuenco, nag-preside yung Senate President pro tempore, and then immediately there was an designated Senate President. Ngayon, kung sa present case natin, kung ganyan yung scenario na itatanong sa'yo, Senate President pro tempore was elected, but he declared all the seats were declared vacant. Granting na may quorum, all the seats were declared vacant. And then, the Senate President pro tempore was elected, but there was no immediate election of Senate President. Now, there is a legal question since there was no immediate election of Senate President. Ano mangyayari sa previous Senate President? Di ba? Unlike in Cuenco, may immediate election, pero dito wala. Hinang yung posisyon ng Senate President. Kasi syempre, alam nyo naman yung rason. Kasi klaro-klaro sa 1987 Constitution, by majority vote of all the members of the House, 12 lang sila, di ba? Kulang sila ng isa. Kaya nakahang yung posisyon ng Senate President. Ngayon, mag-iisip ka ngayon, parang sinarcumvent yung election of Senate Presidency na hinang yung Senate Presidency, tapos nag-take over yung Senate President pro tempore, which is yung kanyang function is just like the Senate President, pero hindi siya na-elect, just like what the 1987 Constitution requires, that he must be elected by majority vote of all the members of the House. So, ano yung analysis mo dyan kung ganyan yung tanungan dyan? Was the 1987 Constitution circumvented, or since there was a valid quorum, pwedeng ihang yung position ng Senate President, and then the Senate President pro tempore will be acting as the Senate President without being elected, just like how the Constitution mandated how a Senate President should be elected. So you must now have a position. So that medyo magulo siya, but ang maganda siyang i-test kung ano kalalim, paano mo i-apply yung Avellino versus Cuenco, paano mo siya ibangga sa 1987 Constitution, kung ganun yung style ng tanungan. So my last note to that, you need to anticipate the unexpected basta bar exam. At saka syempre, we need also to pray for our country kasi hindi maganda yung nangyayari sa ating bansa ngayon. So we have to pray for our nation. So I hope nakatulong kaunti for your mental calisthenics, no? Thank you.